So we used to have what I said, native, right? So native is another way to do digital where it's all authority pages. Think about you're on ESPN or you're at Free Press and you're reading about the Lions and their badass offseason they're having. And you're oh, hell yeah. Then I'm a big Lions fan. And then all of a sudden, bam, someone's like, this is in the solar. Hey, solar can reduce your energy cost and help save the planet. Solar for middle class. What do you think? It's just a headline. They click it. Now it's an educational page. It's not salesy. Hey, here, Jesse got solar. It tells a testimonial. It tells the impact that it did. And then it says, maybe you can save. And it's always like a maybe should you, where it's not, come here. And then they're like, oh, I like that. And they click. And then that's when I said self-book. You said you don't do that. We don't get the lead and call them. 80% of ours is self-book. They click it and then they get the calendar and they book it. And we do a call the night before to confirm. And that's huge because then you don't have to have all the call center people that you're carrying. And you're allowing the consumer to empower themselves to make a decision. And that's a big deal. We're doing all that through Monday. We're doing all that. And we did all that before through Salesforce. You have to build an online funnel, right? You have to build, Monday will connect to Calendly, which will connect to your sales rep schedule. And you have to build what they call a funnel. I'm not the technical guy to build it behind closed doors, but it's basically when they click it, you're capturing their information and now they're self-booking to your Calendly and then you're booking the appointment and scheduling it. And you've got all that data coming through. And so that's where the funnel management is. And then that also allows us, if they self-book, if they're like, oh, I can't do it, it's easier if I'm hot on it right now and I think I want concrete and I call you and I'm like, hey, I'd like you to come see me fucking Tuesday. Well, then more than likely I'm going to sit. We talked about that. I'm not going to really cancel. I'm probably going to sit because I need it. I'm like, I need this. If I see an ad and I'm interested, but I don't know if I need it. And then you call me, I may not answer the phone. That's step one. I was interested, but now it's not hot. I'm not answering the phone. You know how that is. You get leads like, fuck, they don't answer the phone. All of these things, or they finally get hold of me. I'm like, yeah. Okay, I guess I'll book it. Well, then that day comes and you're like, shit, I don't want to deal with that guy today. That's what happens. So when they self-book, they fill out the form and they go straight to it. Psychologically, these consumers feel more committed because they booked the date to convenience for them. It's like, it's the craziest thing. They're like, well, I can do Tuesday at 5. So they fucking feel like they own that appointment. It's on them. It's just how it works. And then when we call Monday, we're like, I'm just letting you know, Jimmy's coming tomorrow, Tuesday at 5. And we don't even fucking call them. We text them. We say, hey, this is XYZ company, and we're coming to fucking see you tomorrow at 5:00. Great or no. And if they don't respond, we still go. And if they say yes, we put confirmed and we still go. And if they say no, we try to reschedule. That you have to do that because you eliminate the human error of somebody fucking up on the phone. You eliminate the human error of someone not picking up the phone. You're allowing the consumer. I'm a big believer in this, empowering them to make decisions. People want instant gratification every day. You're giving them that opportunity in your business because you're not selling. People don't want to be fucking sold, man. Like I'm a big believer when they go into the home with solar. I said, I don't want you to fucking talk price. I don't want you to show the proposal. I want you to walk in and then I want you to immediately take them outside and take pictures and show them and make them envision where it's going to be on the roof. And then I want you to walk them over the power panel and make them envision where that battery is going to look like and where it's going to be and pull it out of your car. And then what they're doing is they're automatically their guard. You know this. Anytime a sales call happens, I don't care if they want it or not, their guard is up. So if I come to your house, so your guard's up. We all are like that. Our guard's up. Like, I ain't going to be had. You're not coming to my house and ripping me off. We have to get the guard down. And the only way to get the guard down is you don't talk price. You don't talk sales. You talk about, oh, well, this is what it would look like. And then we sit down and we talk a little bit about the company, a little bit about us. And we say, well, why am I here? Then, well, what is your reasons? And you start doing that to where their guard comes down and they're doing all the talking. And then you go, well, here's what I can do for you. To me, that's always worked better. It's how we've trained our people in every industry because you don't want salespeople. Salespeople, they're just hungry. You want educators in the home that can educate the consumer to make the right decision. That's how I've always spun it. Like you have to educate the consumer. This is how this works. This is what the impact is. Here's your potential savings. Here's what we can do. Here's some testimonials. I'm real big in testimonials. We had thousands of testimonials online. People saying, I love solar. Bam, I got it. All these things. And when they see that, it It's more real. TikTok, Pinterest. I would also look at, let me think, what other companies do we have? There's YouTube. You got to look at YouTube. They do videos, ads as well that are pretty good. You want to do reels and shorts. Shorts are on YouTube. You want to do reels on Instagram. And you could sponsor them. The goal is at one time we're on all kinds of platforms I've never even fucking heard of. We were on like Bing and that was their website. We're in all kinds of shit, right? But I challenged our marketing team. I said, listen, and we were going public. Like they were like, guys, you're on like 5 platforms. You need to diversify. What if that fucking platform changed their algorithm? And Facebook did that. Like, people do this. And then you're like, fuck, and you're almost starting over. So I challenged, I said, I want to be on fucking 30 fucking platforms. And we were on 31 and like 17 of them I never even fucking heard of, but we were on there and it was driving a little bit. And we always paid attention to the ROAS. What was our, maybe it only got 3% of our spend, but it got something because we got something out of it. It made sense. You're always going to have these levers. You're going to hit us a peak where it costs too much on a platform because you're seeing the same eyeballs. Right. Yep. So it's like when you hit that peak, you need to know when it's like, okay, I don't, that's my threshold. I don't want to go higher than. So if I need more juice, if I need more customers, I need more volume, more gas, I got to diversify into the other platforms. I can't push this one too high because you will eventually price yourself out. Like, when you're in a market so long and you're just pounding it one platform, that shit just goes up. It doesn't go down. So you want it to stay around the same. That's a sweet spot. One thing you'll always notice too, if you expand, and I'm hoping that's what we could get you to do, open up new markets, go in new places. When you do that, the lead cost and your goes way down, your dispatch goes way down, and your ROAS goes way up real fast because you're the first one in there on the digital, right? Once you saturate your own market, it stays consistent. I remember when we first started doing digital marketing, like in Michigan, we were paying like $10 a lead. When we closed, we were paying $100. Okay. So it went up 10 times. It's okay. We could afford it because we had a great closing rate with a great brand. It was a $60,000 ticket with a battery. There were things that we could afford, but when you're fucking first to the fucking thing, it's like dirt cheap because those algorithms, those platforms are throwing you to the front of everybody and people are like eating that shit up. Then after they've seen it 5,000 times, you get diminished returns. So the only way you manage that is diversifying your platforms and growing into new markets. That's how you can control that. Hey, I know someone that lives over there in Troy. Shit, that guy got it. I can get it. That's the credible top level, right? We would incentivize.
Do you do videos or do you do videos?
I would do videos. So we would incentivize our installers, right? We'd say, hey, look, we do contests. We'd say, when you get done with an install, I want you to walk the consumer around the entire job and tell them, hey, look, answer any questions for them. Make sure you cleaned up. And then I want you to say, hey, do you mind if I do a video? I'm in a contest to win a trip against my other crew leaders. And, I'd like to take a video. You tell us why you went solar and what you want to rate us 1 through 10. It's okay if you rate us 5, 6. Just be honest, please. And 95% of the time they're like 10. So I always think of, that football movie where the fat guy goes 10, 10, right? Varsity Blues, right? So you would hear these consumers say, I give them a 10 and I did it because of this and I did it because of that. We would take that, we'd give it to our marketing team over time. They would just post those and we'd have those on YouTube everywhere. So when our reps would be in the house, they're like, well, let's check out our YouTube channel. And they would mark the city. And if they were near that city or in that state, they will go, look, I've got, a few customers that have gone with us recently here. You can see these posts. This is them. Sometimes consumers, if you want referrals, have them post on their Facebook or their Instagram and tag you and say, hey, I'll give you a referral fee if you send me. That's another thing we used to do, but that wasn't a big mover. The videos are important because of the credibility. So I'm helping a company that does bricks and concrete in Michigan and Indiana, like fixes your bricks and concrete. And he's like, he's never done financing in his life. He said, I did 5 million in sales last year. We don't do financing. I said, brother, we're going to find you a financing company, which he's got 2 now. And B, you need to make an ad with a call to action. Hey, have you thought about fixing your bricks or your concrete, but you're scared it costs too much? Great news. We have 0% interest for 24 months and you can finance today. Give us a call. Is he up 400% in 1 month in sales? I can give you guys his number. You call him. Like, he's obsessed with what we're doing. He didn't know what ROAS was. He didn't know what a call to action was. He's been doing this for 5 years. Right. So it's important that you guys, first of all, are like, hey, this is what we're great at. We're great at software sales. We've got a great vision. We've got a great idea. We're a great partnership. We bring all this, but we need to expand. So self-improvement or reaching out and bringing people on that help build this Avengers type team to take it to the next level is the first step. Because a lot of folks sit in your guys' shoes and go, I'll figure it out on my own. And that probably cost me 2 or 3 years of pain I didn't need at the beginning. I was just coaching another guy that's running a pretty big company up in Michigan, and he does concrete and he does brickworks and he does all these kinds of things. And he's never had a call to action. What a call to action means is, because he was like, what do you mean by call to action? So he'll have these commercials or these ads. This is what we do. And this is great. And, we've been around 50 years and blah, 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 blah. Call now. I said, well, call now is not a call to action. And he's like, well, what the hell's a call to action? I said, call to action is presenting a problem, providing a solution, and giving them a hell of a deal or a reason to want to call. It's call to action. I'll give you an example. He's never done financing before, and they're getting ready to expand. He's never done financing. He's like, and they do I think last year they did about 5 million in sales, and he's thinking or hoping he's going to get to 10 million this year, right? But they have bad winters. And he's like, I need to market better. And I'm struggling, only on referrals. And I said, all right. So he started doing these TV commercials and he started doing these ads, like I said, with no call to action. So I said, well, first of all, you got to get financing. Now, I don't know if that applies to your business. We'll talk about it in a minute. But I said, sign up with these finance companies. Like, well, what does that do? Does it cost me anything? I said, no, it costs the customer. If the customer wants to finance their concrete and the bricks to get fixed, they have a monthly payment. People don't want to fucking pay, let me pay 50 grand to get my concrete done. People want to pay $200 a month. When they go buy a car, most people, right? People like yourself or me, who might be like, how much is the fucking car? 60 grand. All right, I'll buy the car. But our clients, the buyers, they want a payment. People want a fucking payment. So you got to give them a payment. So I said, you're going to have to tell them no money down, no interest for 6 years, get the thing, and whatever the payment's going to be. So he started to do that. His calls are up 400% because he has a call to action. He shows the problem. He shows the solution. He shows, hey, we can do financing at 0% interest, no money down, blah, blah, blah. Boom. The other world we live in that Will really likes this, so do I, that we use all the time, is ChatGPT. Like, AI is the future, and Will's taking a lot of courses, and I'm trying to follow his path as well, where I'm learning as much as I can about it. That's the information I've shared with Jeremiah and what I used for Tavon to help him create a script on TikTok for them to run an ad that we wanted to make. But you can use ChatGPT or these AI platforms to really help, basically be a copywriter for you or give you information. I mean, I have it do everything for me. Like, hey, how many poker chips should I have if I've got 8 people at my house for a tournament? And these are the kind of chips. Boom, it spits it out. Hey, what should I do? I used it here. Like, what should I cover in this coaching thing? It spits out 10 things. I tell them what my coaching's about, the kind of clients that I've got in here. What should we talk about? It spits out 10 things for us to talk about. And then I still have to direct traffic, but it gives me that information. And some of the posts, if you follow me, you'll see my posts. I don't write that good. Okay. I'm not going to bullshit you, tell you I write that good. That's ChatGPT making those posts. And I say, I need a post for Instagram to talk about Taco Tuesday, about my coaching, about this, and about transformation. It spits this out. I make a video. I post it. I'm done. It takes me 5 minutes. I can have a social media manager do it, which is smart, I have a team that's getting ready to take it over, but I handle a lot of that right now. They take over the podcast stuff and the other video stuff, but all those lives or those quick videos I do, that's just me doing a video, going to ChatGPT, talking about what I said real quick. Say, give me a post with some caps, with some emojis. It spits it out. Takes like 10 seconds. I post my video. There's an app that we utilize. And you sent it to me, Will, and I love it, by the way. I've used it a few times now. Captions, where you take your video, you stick it in, it'll give you pictures, it'll put colors on your words, all of that stuff. And you're not even paying an editor. You do it on a video you made real quick, and then you just upload that. It literally takes me like 3 or 4 minutes. And see, you got to embrace this new technology because it can help. Like, you can use it to place a job ad. I was helping Tavon. He had to jump off real quick. He was like, dude, I'm trying to hire truckers and I'm, truck drivers, and I'm trying to hire, people that can work doing this. And, I'm trying to do, where should I write this great ad? I said, dude, go to ChatGPT, talk about what the position is, talk about what you want to pay, talk about your company, talk about the experience, talk to it like you're talking to me, like just Like if you got a text to talk, just text, then put that in there. It'll spit it out for you. We use it for all of that. If I were a real estate agent, I would use it to help list the house. I would tell the details about the house and I'd say, can you make me a brief, intense call to action listing on this home? Pop, it would spit back out. I'd have the best damn post out there in the world. I do the same thing for if I was running a salon, right? And I wanted to have a sick ass post to draw people in. I'd say, this is what my salon does. This is what makes me different. These are the great things that we offer. This is the environment that it's about. This is what we do and the specialists we have. Give me a call to action, great post that I can post and talk about the company sometimes. Give me one for each day of the week. It'll spit out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then you have all this information and you just post it with a picture or a video. Man, I type, it's like a paragraph. I tell it everything and I talk to it like it's a person. Like I'm like, here's what I need from you. And here's what I need you to bring up. And here's what I did in the past. And here's the experience. And here's what I'm looking to do. And here's who I think some of my clients are. Help me find more clients. Include that in the call to action in this Instagram post. Can you do it for 5 days a week? You know, it comes back. Can you make it more intense? Comes back. Okay. Can you change this and do this? It comes back. Like, it's so amazing. And I use it for everything, like literally everything, but you got to use it for this stuff. You got to like people. It's what it's here for. Right. And it saves us money. If you think about it, of hiring all these people to do all this stuff for us. Like Will said, it used to take an hour. It takes me 2 minutes to do it. I'm like, why do I need social media people to cut all that stuff up again? I do for other things, but boy, their jobs have just become, you know, a lot smaller. So think of this. You might be buying stuff from Google right now, correct? So Google, digital marketing and lead gen and ROAS, that's my specialty, right? So Google is a platform of necessity. So if I've got termites, I'm going to go, shit, honey, let's Google. We got to Google someone to come out and fix my termites. If I'm sick of my power bill and the power outages keep going up and they just raise it, I'm like, let's Google someone for solar. That is out of necessity. And it is a great pond and it converts well. Right. And the ROAS, you guys know what ROAS is or no? If you don't, it's okay. So here's why ROAS is important. So gentlemen like yourself and me for about 6 years, 5 years into this business, you look at customer acquisition costs, correct?
Yep.
You look at what does it cost me per deal? You can't look at it that way. You got to look at ROAS, which is return on ad spend. So if you spend $1, how much does it bring? When you change that mindset internally in your business, when you're advertising, things change. Now you're like, oh my gosh, it's not about what did it cost me? It's about what did it bring me and where is the most effective dollars that I spend bringing the most dollars in. And you use that also to judge your reps who run appointments for you. So one of the things, well, two of the things. So the first thing is we go back to Google. It's a small pond and it's out of necessity. So anybody that's doing solar in your area and someone decides, yes, I finally want it, they Google, you're paying for competition of those words. You have to have Google, but that pond is only so big. How many people today are going to say, I'm going to Google solar? Only so many.
Especially in Missouri, right?
Right. Especially in Missouri, North Carolina, freaking Michigan, Ohio, Indiana. Like, trust me, I get it.
Yep.
So what we did is we said, how can we can't grow with that. Nobody's like, hey, I want to do solar in Michigan. Like, especially we went there. We have to create a marketplace. So instead of just fishing here, we wanted to fish in Facebook, in Instagram, in TikTok, in YouTube, in Pinterest, in all of them. And we wanted to create a brand where people were sitting there going, hey, I never thought about doing this. We should look at that. Now you're not competing with your competition because they're not doing that. And you're not paying a lead aggregator to share that customer's information with 3 or 4 people where you're competing with them and it's wasteful and it's time consuming. It's frustrating. You're creating your own marketplace. You're basically fishing in a bigger pond and you're just trying to find the bait that works to bite them in, but it's unlimited fish, right? That's the key to digital marketing. When you can open up that capacity on your brand and you can start marketing that way. I just invested in a flooring company that I'm a 50% partner in. And I put some of the leaders that were, at Pink in that business to open it up. And I'm guiding them. I'm letting them, like, these guys are, VPs and directors, been with me for a long time through 2 companies. And they're like, whatever you do, we want to do. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to build a big company again. Like I've got PTSD. My family's getting death threats. Like, it's just bad overall. This nonsense, it's like crazy. I said, I'm not going to deal with that. So I want to do something else. I'm not sure what it was. And I talked to my mentor and he was like, dude, you got to do coaching for home services, like any home services. It could be flooring. It could be pest control. It could be solar. Like these guys don't know how to do digital marketing. These guys don't know how to grow their business. They love what they do and they're great tradesmen, but they haven't seen what you've seen and built multiple times with digital marketing. You can help them. I'm like, dude, that's a great idea. So I started to want to do that. Well, when we started this flooring company, we're 5 months in. It started in December. They did 1.4 million in sales last month, one city. We've never spent any money on TV. We've never spent any money on radio. And we've spent very little that's a necessity in Google, right? Because you have to, because you want to get some of that, because they're saying, I want it. That's a good closing. They have high closing percentages when they pick you, but you're paying an outrageous amount sometimes to convert that customer. But everything is digital marketing for us. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's all we do, right? We used to spend $10 million a month at Pink Energy on digital marketing a month. So we knew what we were doing over time. I remember being, at the infancy stage when we're going to do it. It's like, okay, well, the good news is when you start using these platforms and we start, if you guys choose my coaching or you don't, and you start talking to people, hey, how do I do this? What do I do this? It's going to be, okay, well, you got to walk before you run. You don't want to throw bad money because, cash is tight when you're new. You want to be able to, hey, what works the best? And that's why ROAS is important. So you sprinkle a little bit of fairy dust, a little bit of the money in different platforms. And you go, oh, shoot, that one's working and that one's working. Let's pull from this one a little bit, sprinkle a little more and let it start converting higher. And what you're doing is you're building a brand. So when you do that, you're creating an interest. Like imagine of being proactive. We talked about the termites. Oh, I've got them. Well, now if you're talking about, hey, don't be those guys that call us when you get termites, be those guys that prevent to get termites and we have zero down in financing, blah, 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 right?